okay, this Module 7 lab activity is actually going to build on the skills test you did with simple circuits. Now we're going to step it up a little bit, increase the difficulty, and involve you in series circuits. And a series circuit is a circuit that has a power supply, in this case a battery, and more than one load. So not just one single resistor, more than one energy consumer. So in this case, it's going to be more than just one resistor. So again, here's your splashdown page. You hit begin. Now again, familiarize yourself with the interface. Notice that you've got several resistors in this circuit. Notice that you have a ammeter and a voltmeter. Make sure you can tell the difference between the two. The way you can tell the difference, and it's described in the introduction, is that the ammeter is wired as a crucial part of the circuit. Notice there's a little gap here. This is if this ammeter is disconnected, you've got an open circuit. No current's going to flow. So charges must go through the ammeter and get counted. So essentially, an ammeter is going to be measuring the number of charges that are moving through it every second. It's like a little turnstile or something of the sort, where everybody's got to go through the ammeter, has to get counted. The voltmeter, notice, I could have the voltmeter disconnected and current's still going to flow. So the voltmeter is not a crucial part of the circuit. It's essentially wired across each of these resistors. So anyway, one thing you'll notice is you can move your meters to take readings at different places in the circuit. Another thing you can do is you can click on your battery box. You can change the battery pack. You can also see the full circuit. And then for your individual resistors, notice you can either choose a new resistor if you want, if you're not happy with that particular combination. You can set them all to match if you want. That means that all three resistors would be the same. And you can, of course, return and see your full circuit. So anyway, once you're familiar with the interface, you can go ahead and get started. Question 1 asks you to pick the resistor that you're most enamored with and take a screen capture of that resistor. So I might like this red one. And so I take a screen grab, upload it to the instructor. It does tell you to make sure that you set them all to match. So when you do click on this, for the first part of this experiment, you want them all to match that one. So again, take your screen grab, set them all to match, and then you can return to your full circuit if you want. Now you do have to give the value of that resistor. So again, remember how to read your resistors. If you don't know how to do that, go back to the simple circuit skill test, go back to the read the resistor skill builder. Now it says click on your battery box. You're going to take a screen grab, upload that as well. Now they tell you to move your meters and look at the current and the voltage. So you're going to look at the and again, to take your readings, anytime you just click on the meter itself. So that's the ammeter, that's the voltmeter. Take a reading, move on. Notice it can move to several locations. And then answer some questions about the current readings and the voltage readings at those different positions. Now in question 6, they tell you to take your center resistor and remove that one totally out of the circuit. So you should be left with a circuit that's got two identical resistors. And then it asks you a couple of questions. Then once you've done that question, in question 7 they say, okay, now click on your right resistor and choose a new resistance for that one. And click see full circuit. So now we've got a circuit that's got two resistors, but they're not equal values. And again, answer a couple of questions, questions 7 and 8. Now finally, in question 10, they tell you to click your right resistor and remove it totally. So you're left with a simple circuit again. Then they tell you to click on your one remaining resistor and now set all to match again. Do some readings. Then they tell you to now go ahead and change these guys. Change your center and your right ones. Make them all new resistances. And again, take some readings, draw some conclusions, and finally, question 11 shows some different circuits, and you're supposed to sort of rank these according to the total current coming out of the battery in each circuit. Again, you should have a feel for it at this point, but if you need to go back and rebuild all those to make sure you're right, go ahead and do it. There's nothing stopping you. That's why it's called science. You get a chance to experiment.